My friend, sources are revealing a move that could change everything for the Eagles, and it involves a trade between two teams from the same state that nobody saw coming. Howie Roseman is being pointed to as the center of a negotiation that would send a 25-year-old quarterback to the historic rival across Pennsylvania in exchange for a pick that carries serious weight in the 2026 NFL Draft. One quarterback, one third-round pick, and two teams that rarely do business together. The question making the rounds right now is, will Roseman pull the trigger? I'm going to break down everything about this rumor, why it makes sense for both sides, what the Eagles stand to gain, what the Steelers desperately need, and what all of this means for the future of our birds. But first, if you're a die-hard Eagles fan, hit that like button and subscribe right now, because with the 2026 NFL Draft arriving on April 23rd, the pieces are moving fast and you don't want to miss a single update. Alright, let's get straight to it. The name at the center of this story is Tanner McKee, the Mormon missile of the Eagles. The 25-year-old quarterback, selected in the 6th round of the 2023 draft with the 188th overall pick, is being identified as the key piece in a potential trade between Philadelphia and the Pittsburgh Steelers. According to Austin Bundy of Fansided, the proposal would send McKee to Pittsburgh in exchange for the 76th overall pick in the 3rd round of the 2026 NFL Draft. A 3rd-round pick for a 6th-round quarterback with only 6 NFL appearances? That would be an extraordinary return for Howie Roseman, my friend. But why would the Eagles do this? The answer starts with Philadelphia's own roster. The Eagles are completely set at the quarterback position heading into the 2026 season. Jalen Hurts is the starter, Super Bowl LIX champion, undisputed leader of the locker room, and one of the best quarterbacks in the NFL. And now, with the arrival of Andy Dalton, a 38-year-old veteran acquired from the Carolina Panthers for a 2027 7th-round pick, Philadelphia has a solid and experienced backup to protect Hurts' spot. With Hurts and Dalton occupying the 2 priority spots on the depth chart, McKee has become the 3rd man in line. And in the NFL, my friend, being the 3rd quarterback on a roster built to win the Super Bowl is basically the same as walking around with an expiration date on your back. Now, before we get into what the Steelers need, let me show you why McKee carries real market value and isn't just some throwaway name heading out the door. In his 2 seasons with the Eagles, he appeared in only 6 games. And when he played, he was efficient. 61.4% completion rate, 597 passing yards, 5 touchdowns, and just 1 interception across his entire career. Those numbers turn heads for a quarterback with so little playing time. In Week 18 of the 2024 season against the New York Giants, he completed 27 of 41 passes for 269 yards, 2 touchdowns, and 0 interceptions, leading the Eagles to a 20-13 victory. In the 2025 season, he led a 17-play drive that consumed 11 minutes and 22 seconds of game clock in a dominant win over the Las Vegas Raiders. McKee knows how to play football. The issue isn't talent. The issue is opportunity. And here's the point that too many people overlook in this conversation. Tanner McKee has never been given a real chance. He developed inside a system built entirely around Jalen Hurts, learned by watching from the sideline, and only stepped on the field when games were already decided or when starters were being rested. Any honest evaluation of McKee has to factor that in. He has never commanded an offense under genuine pressure for any meaningful stretch of games. And that, paradoxically, is exactly what makes him attractive to another team. The NFL is full of quarterbacks who were thrown into the fire too soon and arrived on the open market already worn down. McKee arrives relatively untouched, 2 years of professional vocabulary in his head, a Super Bowl ring on his finger, and a ceiling that has never truly been tested. For any team building toward the future, that carries enormous value. And that's exactly where the Pittsburgh Steelers come in, my friend. The situation in Pittsburgh is, to put it mildly, a mess. Aaron Rodgers, 42 years old, still hasn't signed with anyone. He was the Steelers' starter in 2025, led the team to 10 wins, captured the AFC North title, and did all of that while playing the final 6 games with multiple fractures in his left wrist. The man is a warrior, but he's still a free agent. According to team president Art Rooney II, the expectation is to receive an answer before the draft kicks off on April 23rd. Until then, the clock is ticking. And the one thing Pittsburgh insiders know for certain, according to reporter Jerry Dulac, is that the Rodgers situation is binary. Either he comes back to the Steelers, or he walks away from the game entirely. There is no other team in the picture. That means Pittsburgh is completely stuck. If Rodgers returns, great. But if he hangs up his cleats, the Steelers head into the 2026 season with Will Howard and Mason Rudolph. Howard was selected in the 6th round of the 2025 draft with the 185th overall pick out of Ohio State, where he was a national champion. Head coach Mike McCarthy openly said he valued Howard higher than the 6th round suggested. But Howard has not played a single minute of NFL preseason football. He was injured last summer before ever getting that shot. And Rudolph, as experienced as he is, isn't anyone's vision of the future. Think about what McKee would bring to the Steelers. 25 years old, 2 years of NFL system knowledge in his arsenal, a Super Bowl champion locker room as his frame of reference, and small but convincing numbers every time he was called upon. If Rodgers returns, McKee slots in as a young developmental piece alongside Howard, creating an intriguing future duo once the veteran likely retires after 2026. If Rodgers doesn't come back, McKee immediately becomes the most experienced and capable quarterback on the roster, competing for the starting job with Howard. In both scenarios, the fit makes sense. Now, on the Eagles' side, the question is, what does Howie Roseman do with an extra 3rd-round pick? Anything he wants, my friend. Roseman is one of the most creative and aggressive general managers in the NFL. Over the years, he's turned accumulated draft capital into impact players, used picks to move up the board and land difference makers who help deliver a Super Bowl. An extra 3rd-round pick, especially one coming from a rival team in desperate need of help, is exactly the kind of asset Roseman knows how to turn into something bigger. And the cost? A quarterback who wasn't going to play in 2026 anyway. There's an emotional layer to this story that can't be ignored, of course. Tanner McKee is beloved in Philadelphia. He has an inspiring life story, was part of the group that won Super Bowl Lex, and has the ring to prove it. Watching him go to the Steelers, the historic rival across Pennsylvania, would sting for Eagles fans. But football is a business. And at the end of the day, what matters for the Eagles is continuing to build around Jalen Hurts and maximizing every available resource. It's important to be upfront here, my friend. This is still a rumor, a hypothetical proposal. Neither team has confirmed any negotiation, and everything depends on multiple factors. What Rodgers decides, how the Steelers build out their roster, and whether the Eagles ultimately conclude that McKee is expendable even as a 3rd option. But the fact that this kind of trade is already being discussed publicly is a sign that the market around McKee is heating up. And with the draft less than 3 weeks away, things can move very quickly. With Aaron Rodgers' decision still hanging in the air, Will Howard's future in Pittsburgh wide open, and Howie Roseman always hunting for the next smart move, what's the right call for the Eagles with Tanner McKee? Hold on to the young quarterback as roster insurance, trade him now for the 3rd-round pick, or wait and see if a better offer comes from somewhere else? Drop your opinion in the comments. Don't forget to hit that like button and subscribe to the channel. I'll be back later with the latest Eagles news.